Welcome to another What to Shoot When video for stock photography. Also, this is going to be the last one in this style because it's getting a facelift. If you sign up to get my newsletter when you downloaded your free guide at wollertzphotography.com, then you already know what's happening. If you didn't sign up for the newsletter, you'll have to wait a couple of weeks. Now, December has a lot of good things to shoot, like International Women's Day, big seller. Walk in the Park Day, easy to do. Now, it's obvious that I would have chosen St. Patrick's Day because, you know, drinks, green stuff, it looks good. Instead, I chose to go completely outside of my comfort zone and shoot something weird, a concept, like read an ebook week. How do you shoot for that? And for 90% of the subscribers out there, yes, Bambi will be in this video. Maybe I should have said 99%. Every time she's not in the video, people are asking where she's at. So I will include her in this video because she's part of my idea, part of the composition. If you stay till the end of the video, I'll share with you a few compositional tips, things that I'm gonna use for these photos, and maybe you'll pick them out as I try to set it up and take the photos. For now, let me break down the room, start setting up the lights, and figure out how am I gonna get this idea out there. Okay, say bye. All right, I think I got a little carried away with the fog, but I just need some environmental fog, something to break up the background a little bit. Let me check composition. I think if I come a little closer, it'll be a little bit better. Let me move this a little closer and bring the camera a little bit closer too. And now I'm gonna try to frame it here. The idea is to use this Lume Cube to light my face. So you can see the light, like I'm reading the thing here. The idea with the fog is that it's like an old house, you know, you always see that in movies, so I thought it would look good. But now let me change the lights here. I want to change the colors a little bit because this color on this side doesn't match. So I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna dim it just a little bit more. Maybe something like that, but I'm gonna put that in the background and I'm gonna turn the overhead lights off so I have full control of the lights. All right, I had to put the tripod upside down, so the camera right now is inverted. I had to flip it or you guys would be upside down and dizzy. So here's a quick version. I can't see the screen because of the tripod leg, which complicates things a little bit, but I think it's fine. I'll just adjust it here real quick. I do a test shot and then readjust the composition as needed. I think this light I'm gonna move over here. And then I'll go get the talent so she could be on my lap and do that way. This light, I changed a little blue, which looks fine, just so that you can see the light. The next thing I'm going to do, besides get Bambi, is maybe change that color light again because it looks too orange in the background. I like it, but I also want it to look a little bit more natural. Before I forget, I gotta take my microphone off. Every time I do this, I forget, and then I have to go and Photoshop the microphone out of my shirts. So let me do that now and take some pictures. All right, let me jump in here real quick and talk about a few things I noticed when I started editing these photos. Number one, and it's obvious, it's a rule for photography and videography, is light source. When you have different color lights, usually you want to have a light source, like a lamp. Even a pink Himalayan salt lamp thing could have been good here in the background in the middle or somewhere there to show where the warm light is coming from. I don't have a lamp. You can watch different movies. You'll see when they have like a nighttime and they have a window open and the teal light, like this one I have behind me, comes through that window and then you have a warm light from the fire. That's what ties everything together. But you know there's a fire or you know there's a window and that's supposed to be moonlight. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, Bambi sheds a lot. I was wearing another Bambi by the time I was done with the photo shoot, so that was a lot of work in Photoshop, not only removing logos, but removing stray hairs. You know, what are you gonna do? You have to go through the motions. Now I did select 53 images from this photo shoot. I'm hoping 20, 30 get accepted because some are very similar, but I tried to do different expressions, different angles, different lighting. That's what took so long with these photos. And again, on every single one, I had to remove hair and logos and everything else. That's just emotions. You have to do that. If only 20 get accepted out of 53, so be it. You still got to do the work through all of them. That's why you should select the best ones and go from there. All right, the other thing I noticed was the brightness of the reader. By the time I was done, I couldn't see. I had my eyes trying to take pictures here, looking at the screen, trying to focus, and the Lume Cube I was using was at 100%. So that was very bright, and when I was editing images, I had to bring that down a little bit. I had to tone it down and adjust the white balance and the colors slightly. Even though it's something I could fix in post, you don't want to be fixing everything. And that's all I wanted to bring up. It was a light source, stray hairs. Make sure to clean your images, not only logos, but distracting elements like hair, dog hair, and then also the brightness of the lights you're using so that they match the scene. The fog did a good job. It's not noticeable, and I don't have before and after, so I can't tell you what it looked like without the fog. It's just something that gives a little glow to the air. You don't really notice it, and that's the point. It doesn't have to be obvious. It just has to be something there that it just gives it a little glow. And if they had a light source, you would see that glow even better. Again, light source 101. Anyway, let's go back to the video. All right, well, that was a lot more difficult than I expected. For something like this, you might have to ask for help. I mean, looking at the tripod, it took hours because I'm trying to adjust the tripod. I can't see what I'm doing, moving it around, setting the lights. It is a lot of work. It can't be done, but it would be a lot easier if you can bring in an assistant, just because of the amount of work it takes, moving, adjusting, trying to see where you're at. If you don't have an extra monitor, it's very difficult. You can hook up your camera to an iPad or your phone with the wireless connecting, so you can get a better idea, but it is a bit tough. Let's go back to the composition things I mentioned earlier. So the first thing you saw was that I used fog. The fog was supposed to just kind of soften the scene, give a little bit of an environment thing. You see this in a lot of movies, especially when they had lights, different color lights. They used the fog so that you can see the light a little bit more in the room. And what I was doing here with the lights is I had this one very warm, and I had the Lume Cube, where is it? In like a blue teal color. And these are opposite colors, so those are gonna tie the composition. I also used the green chair with a reddish shirt. These are also opposite colors that are supposed to tie in the composition. The other thing I did in some of these photos was shoot through things. When I'm looking at the candle like this, shooting through my shoulder, that's another great way to establish a shot. Shooting through things is really gonna tie everything together. Those are great composition tips. The other one, that was very difficult because I keep forgetting is chin out. It's almost like you're putting your forehead out like that when you're doing a photo, especially when you're looking down. You get these things here on your neck. So if you remember to put your chin out, your forehead out, it feels weird, but it helps. And the photos look natural, even though it feels like the most unnatural thing in the world. So that's it for the composition. 4 things that I used. The fog was number 1, shooting through things number 2, complementary colors, opposite colors in the color wheel, and chin out. That's very important in compositions. Remember to tell your models or yourself, do that. Feels weird. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to sign up for the newsletter so you can get updates on what's happening in the channel. And like I said, there's big updates coming. So see you next time. Bye.